Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
Well, wonderful people. Guess who's done with their German lesson? What have I missed, folks? We're 18 minutes into game one. Who won the side select? I'll say hello briefly before I come back on, because there's a fight happening. Looks like LGD in a bit of a fight here with OMG in the bot side as Harry is going to go down. And there is indeed now a bit of a cast for at least half of this game. And they get a couple back. Turns out Nayo on this Nefiri still... Game one had, by the looks of it, been a bit of a snooze fest. DNF got Nefiri and Gwen in the first game versus HLE2 and they got stomped. That's hilarious. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Still going to be the... I need to get the... Oh no, I can't do that. I'm going to do the full screeny thing over here. It just keeps pinging. Oh my god, everyone's pinging all the time. Get rid of the text. There is a cast now. Welcome back. As the violence commences, Linfeng looking for a fight will find nothing as Nayo continues to hop around, has another reset available. The needlework is flying on through and Harry nearly at the mega wants to get there, can't quite do it. Hung will at least bring down that Nefiri and wait, the curtains being called can make this very messy indeed. Linfeng finding huge value. How is this Aurora at 6-1 suddenly? Got a Shadow Flame to whip his Shadow, not quite dead to the Starry free in the mid lane, and suddenly despite this draft, despite the 6-kill Nefiri, Linfeng is in a very scary position on this Aurora, and Aurora has a lot of skills that will go straight down a load of captive audiences under where those deaths were and got a lot of value out. Problem is now this mid lane shove's going to happen, and suddenly mid lane turret is traded out. Gwen also left on that top side for Sassy, who's getting into a very scary spot. I need to close the door before I annoy my neighbors, so back in a second. There's a fight occurred. Give me a second, guys. I need to do some life things, and Heng is dying. Crescent Guard times out. And now Sassy with a TP in and a needlework is going to do a lot of work over to Moam, who's in a dangerous position. Gets out. The Fury is so balanced. I think that's a lie. Dark World. Pen ahead of Kurt. We're in the process of cooking. Oh, Mecha, what you making? What you making, Mecha? What do we have IRL friends? Look at Miss Fancy Pants. Woo! I know. There we go. There's another big old kill onto Moam. Doing good work. It's YCX now haunting with the rest of the team. Looking for an angle in. Won't quite find it. Turns this around. As we come on over. We have now resolved that issue. Hello, Onivia. Unfortunately, we weren't quite live over there for some reason, which is a bit of annoying. Figured that one out. There's members to be found out there. We're going to a lot of damage to the back end of this. Moam hooked up, goes down. Nowhere for this rel to go. It's a rough time for Moam on what should have been his most famous champion, really. Enjoy a little trip up, Hiromu. Always good to see you. Over we go to the Baron Pit. Knock-up happens. Onto Heng, who does just get deleted in a second or two. Ezreal does the work with the Nautilus for YCX, Rune Prison. Onto Harry, who's now in danger as well. XQW looking to continue hunting with Sassy. They do get the wallop. The dredge line goes wide, but I don't think this Gnar can really do anything, despite a few skill shots going wide because of how damn strong LGD are at this point. 11-2 is Nefiri. Holy moly. What did I learn today in my German lesson? Starting to learn some accusative case stuff. So when you're talking about objects, so all of those conjugations as Xiaoye flashes over the wall, is out of mana here. Starry flashes on him, will now possibly trade his life for it. The crash down just shy, trying to kill off the Jhin, who's running away really fast, does get that reset, looks to go back in, gets the shield with the reset of the Hound's Pursuit, but Linfa goes over the wall. Nayo taking a lot of damage, trying to heal with the Darkin Daggers, can't quite do it. Needs to begin running away as YCX in danger himself now. Healing off the Gromp from passively at the back end of it all. They'll lose the Nautilus. Nayo still wants to play this. In comes the Realm Walk. They want to play this 2v3. Moam doesn't quite get the Shattering Strike they were hoping for. There's the call of the pack to get some more healing. And Moam at the level 10 has nothing to work. We will bleed out in a moment. Another kill to Nayo. You see how the other drafts go because top picks look kind of crazy here. Yeah, it's very different. Sassy got run down there, actually. That's potentially quite big. Now Linfom looking to reset, goes across the veil, finding an angle. Nayo will immune some of it with the call of the pack, but it's a good ult. The Between Worlds doing damage. Nayo now in danger, needs to hop away. Taken very low, burned up because the Death's Dance is enough work to make sure he does die in the long run. And OMG have held on. They can get a lot of value here. In fact, they're going to pretty much ace the squad. Can they get anyone else? Missing the shot. YCX in danger. Gets hit. It's Xiaoye alone that survives. How on earth did OMG down to 4k HP? He can actually come and smite this. Wind becomes lightning. Into the attempted steal. Won't quite happen. He got into the pit, but will now likely die. XQW flashing on forwards to try and get some spell fluxes and overloads. You've lost the Nautilus, but Moam flashing away. Between Worlds. Linfo looking for an angle. Can't quite do it, but the curtains are called. No one's able to threaten very well. Nayo looking for an angle. Sends the dogs forward. Hops away. Oh my days. The weirding. Popped two. Now Harry in danger, goes into that untargetable state with the W, but with the Death Stance ticking, we'll need to find something to heal off. Baron secured. You asked 2 for it, and the Ocean Dragon's up. How on earth are we at this point? And I'll tell you what, it's because the Jin's at full build. Because this Aurora's at full build. They hit like trucks. Try and come and play this. Into the pit we go. Harry's very low. Gonna try and take this one out regardless. Into the pit is Nayu. Could look to steal. Would be Ocean Soul if he can get in and secure this. Can't quite find the value he was looking for. The rest of the Dame is still dead. And Sassy's TP leads to nothing. Starry got a GA. Gets the root. On to one more. Wind becomes lightning. Xiaoye will heal. Tries to get away, but he's caught between worlds. Immediately dies. Linfon looking for a twofold hex of his own. Let's see how deep this rabbit in mid lane can go with the spells. Don't know why I'm suddenly turning Bane on that one, but there we go. Massive. We can just show you hop forwards. He's got a GA, but doesn't quite have it popping. Gets the wind by lightning, goes over the wall, the audacious charge, and actually manages to buffer the True Shot Barrage while dead in the GA. Still knocked him. He's going in! They'll kill off the Aurora, finally! But Xiaoye is dead for it. Everyone else having a bad time, but Nayo is now scary. They're turning around with the curtain call. Harry on a flank, trying to keep people pinned in place. Trying to find some shots. The Observer observes the death of Nautilus. Made the curtain call look a little bit more ugly than it was. And it ends up being a 2-for-1. The stacks are gone on Linfo. And Xiaoye may have paid with the price of his body, but he may have done the work. TPing back in. Looking to get some damage. They go on forwards. Moam desperately low. Will not quite be killed. Now you're looking for an angle. Terry here at full HP does have nowhere near the Mega Gnar right now. XQW split off from his team a little bit. Flashing on forward, 4-shot comes on in. Lands the Rune Prism. XQW's just dead. That's Ocean Soul surely for OMG. Into the back of the pit they go. They want to control Wood. They will not know that they're there. Hang, gonna find them now. Looking to step forwards. Gets the knock into the wall. Trying to get damage down onto Sassy. Into the back they go with the Hound's Pursuit. Hang desperately low. Gets the Crescent Guard down. Sassy is dead. Nayo will not secure the dragon, though it was a valiant effort in OMG. But he buys a full Sterax to try and get value. Virtue of its silliness. This is a deeply unserious game, folks. Sit back and enjoy the chaos. The LEC song. Where's Vedi and Dracos? Give me chaos. I'm giving it to you right here. Sassy has gone really deep and will just die. Oh no, the curtains are being called. Please let the curtains call. Please let this be the end of the game. Make it stop. Make it stop. They get another one. They got Baron, right? They do. They've killed another 3 people. I believe you can end the game now, OMG. Inhibitor goes down. Nayo trying a best. This 14 kill Neferi has done everything they can. LGD may be the worst team in the league. Might be them or LNG. They have been really suffering. But there's even then moments for this team. This game should have been theirs. It is not. OMG, hold on. They catch the throw. They catch the failed end. A couple Ocean Dragons, a couple bad fights in a row, and Xiaoya's inexplicable. Nico kind of took a roll a little bit. And honestly, Nico is a much better team fighter because you got a big AoE ult in a way that at least Just doesn't. So this is going to be very interesting. Your tower dive is fantastic. Between Poppy, Linfong with the ult, going to get shuffled into Nayo's Q. I'm going to try and trade this one back on XQW, but he's still in a 1v2. A lot of CC coming on through, will not surely die here, but a decent amount of damage back. Hen can't quite get in range. Getting a lot of those soldiers down. Must get that last buckler. Can't do it. Oh no. Game 1, very, very hard. Good start again this one. That's a decent cocoon though. YCX in danger. Overcomes Hen, gets the buckler, tries to get in range to charge. Caitlyn gets one back. Moam's in danger too. Can Xiaoya look for a flash and an auto? Big Chunk tries to get the pilt over Peacemaker and makes it a double. Sure, they kill off the Nico, but the all-in. Alright, bot side, in we go. Nayo finds the public execution combo with Sassy. Ult plus ult equals a dead Corki. Again, not here. Smite not up for Hang. Nayo could potentially look to go forward. Xiaoya gets knocked up by the Scion. Flash on forwards, can't quite get the combo. They release up into the air, knock away on the jungler from the Poppy of Hang. Still the fight commencing. They've picked up 2 of the 3 grubs. Public execution onto the Scion. Gonna get knocked up by that Pop Blossom after. Shield comes on through with the Soul Furnace and will just die. Kill over to XQW's Azir. Sassy will Drake down step with a lacerate and a cutting swipe. Get out to safety. Nayo now looking at Linfong. Slow comes on through into the Vault Breaker. Relentless forward. The denting blows causing a lot of damage. There's nowhere really for Linfong to go. Trying to try and denote this kill over to the Azir. And a nice pick up there as SQW forced back at the beginning of Moam in a spot of bother. There comes the Blooming Burst. Sion gonna ult, looking to go on in, and hang on, that's a big kill onto that Caitlyn, down for the count. No need for the Sion ult, but they do pick off the Caitlyn before the dragon can begin, and OMG will take that as a big win here. Could have been really significant throw. How on earth does Xiaoya get caught there? Tragic moment. Corki picking it up as well, basically. Into the combo. Cocoon lands. Goodbye, Caitlyn. And everywhere. There's the turret down. Turn around. Fight comes on through and Poppy just dies. Oh boy. Linfong's in danger. They're teleporting from area. I don't think he's going to enjoy that very much. Nayo just about alive. They get into the Herald. It dies as a result of the decimating smash. Moam is once again dead. And the game's looking pretty tricky. For the side of Epamiondas? Epamiondas. There you go. And Curly's like, lol. The correct response I don't want to see JDG anyway. I do. I want to see JDG. Violence continues. Linfeng off to one side. A knock away. Hang. Flashes to get onto Xiaoyu, stays alive. The Pop Blossom is good, actually, from YCX. Backside, Sassy gets a couple as well. Nice ambassador angle. The ace in the hole comes on down. Linfeng trying to ult away, but the cease and desist onto Starry means he is turning into a supernova. Exploded by Xiaoyu and the rest of the crew. Harry and Linfeng to win the game. I should never have gambled in one trusted OMG to give us a 2-game series. Sorry, Mecha. Dragon secured. Fight now commences, but it's YCX's clone that was hit. Xiaoye will still have the ability to 90 caliber net over the wall if they need to. Sassy now looking for an angle. Going to start lacerating forwards. Hang in danger. Tries to keep that ambassador away and can't do it. The heroic charge means nothing. Starry tries to get one with him, but fails to do so. The rest of the team die. Another triple kill to Sassy. 2 fights in a row. There's a wave prepped in the bot side. That turret will not be long for the living, you have to imagine. Are we thinking Atakan after? Are we thinking mid lane? One of the two. This game is looking all but over. Sassy alone is such a monster right now. Never mind XQW. Never mind Xiaoye actually cashed in that call a little while ago. Nayo also going to help take this ruinous Atakan alongside his mid lane on XQW and get a lot of value down. There we go. Gonna try and pick up some of these feathers. Hang. I don't think we're gonna take all that many flowers. We'll get one. They get a single flower. People trying to pounce on a head. It's always been a good item on Caitlyn. Works very well with the headshot. Hang in danger. Gets jumped. Sorry, not Hang in danger. It's Nayo in danger. Now turns it around as overcomes his top laner, trying to keep him alive. Fails to do so. Starry now getting out to safety. Moam also with a repel. Gets out to safety. LICX looking for an angle. Doesn't have flash, but can still look to Pop Blossom. Sassy gets charged into the wall. The decimating smash alongside the charm means that Ambessa, even with all the Omnivap, will fall. LGD once again overplayed, trying to save a member. Hang in danger though, will surely burn out. YCX gets another, and OMG got 2, but can't keep everyone else alive as Harry stepping on forwards. Is still a zombie. Tree angle isn't fantastic, and now Heng has what happened to Nayo happened to him, except there is no potion. And so Poppy just sits there and dies. Back over towards the turret we go. And they'll place a Sun Disc in. And look to siege on in. Here's the replay in the picture-in-picture. I'm assuming it's just, yep, walk into a bush, found him out. Xiaoye just says, yeah, you've walked on a trap. Enjoy your payment. In pain. In game 3. It should have been game over anyway, series over anyway, because LGD should have won the last game. And they didn't. There we go, damage onto Starry. Nayo's gone very deep to do it though, and now is actually very alone here. And the rest of the team's not going to come and defend him. Gets a decent blast shield. Trying to buy some time. The Sundered Sky healing not enough, but they've chased for a very long time to get on top of that. They also lose Corki though. Azir gets killed off by Linfeng, but the problem is Sassy's head has run over people. That'll be a dead Poppy. Again, it's not clean, but the damage is done. They get aced. Nayo buys enough time for the rest of his team to finish off what he started by diving under the turret. The flash barrier was enough to make Starry go a long, long way and separate Nayo out somewhat. But that will still be, you've got to imagine, the end of the game, right? Between Atakan buffing up full grub, please just run up the Nexus towers. No, don't leave. No. Inhibitor down. Baron secured. Linfeng looking for a charm, but a cleanse flash away keeps Xiaoye alive. And they keep playing. Hun gets a charge into the wall. That's pretty significant. XQW gets to go gold. Linfeng also goes gold. But the Pop Blossom timing is excellent from YCX. Heng gets out of the base gate. Will stay alive for now, but it's a triple kill already to Xiaoye, who will continue hunting for some more. They've lost 3. Their jungle and top lane has survived, but that is none of the wave cleared. Not into Baron. And of course, it was the zombie, so even he doesn't die. That's 3 times I've been called out by that this game. Golden goes YCX. Nexus falls. And we're going to game 3. That's kind of wild. Linfong looking for an angle. Gets the double knock up into the ult. Self does it. In comes the Buster Shot. Trying to trade this one back around. Overcomes Alistair as well. Has to flash away. Flashing now on forwards. Gets another Q3 knock up. Can't quite get the damage. As Hung just didn't find a way in. Despite Linfong doing all his own. The lullaby. Possibly. Linfong looking for an all-in. Won't press R on that one. But the rocket jump is now down. And Heng is here. XQW needs to be wary. No Buster Shot. Has flash. Q3 goes wild. There's the last breath. And Tristana is eviscerated. Kill picked up by Heng. Linfong steps on forward. Alright. Heng throwing down the R. In comes OMG. Linfong on the side. Has ult in 3 seconds. Can look for an angle. Doesn't have a knock-up as yet. Looking for it now. Where's the knock-up? There it is. Onto the backside. Shaya's deleted by the last breath. That's the combo they're looking for. Linfong gets to look for more. Flash to secure it with the Beyblade. Gets on forwards. There goes a flash on forward for Nayo. KO's off one more. Lilting Lullaby. Onto 4. Wonderful stuff from the jungler. But Sassy's still alive. Linfong looking to try back out XQW. Gets another hop because he got the kill with the bomb. Another knock-up. Stale Tempest comes on through shield from that turtle stamp. But Linfong still trading. Not enough. Sassy burns him low. Wingborne Storm is there despite the combo. XQW survives. And Nayo's glorious 4. Lilting Lullaby's down. Linfong's in a 1v3. And I don't think he's got anywhere really to go. Nope. He's looking at... Especially Yasuo's critical strikes ignore 60% armor. However, there's just a lot of easier picks to play. And there's a lot less comp dependent. That said, Linfong 4 melees for Lilia always feels good. ICX gets jumped on. Linfong gonna slide away. Sweeping blade into the ult, onto the backline. Nice combo. Looking to try and blow someone up. In comes the native scratch, trying to get a kill down onto Xiaoya. Can't quite do it. YCX also desperately low. Pick that one up. Renekton gets it with the Cull the Meek. Harry stepping on forwards with that Dominus running. Linfong alive. And they back away. Looking to go on forwards now. Sassy, Wingborne Storm. Try to knock up Xiaoya. Does so. Forced to flash away as he was looking for that bullet up. And the backside goes Harry looking for that ruthless predator to blow up XQW. They've killed off the Tristana. Xiaoya now in danger. The knocker comes on through again. Harry with a big heal. No, I'm trying to get away. Now you're looking for that kill. Lands another blooming blow. It's a triple kill to this Lilia, who is doing wonderful work. Gets a quadra. Oh my god, it's just a straight penta. And OMG think we can play this, right? They burned a lot to make this happen. And they look to try and trade this. The bullet time is interrupted by Moam going in. Has to flash away. Watch Linfong. They've got some plays in the mid lane. They're getting kills. They're getting the turret. That's good news. The Lilting Lullabies. They'll get the dragon as well. And I think LGD at this point, surely you win, right? 80% win chance from here. Oh my god. This Lilia. Maybe the Chains of Corruption onto Nayo, but still can go golden. It's pretty damn tanky, and you've thrown it all out to get not that much. The bullet time, not fantastic. Y6 should have to burn out. Linfong going to potentially get slowed down. Doesn't get that much value. Sassy flashing on forward. The Wingborne Storm on. Can look to charge on forward. We'll have an Iron Mantle and that Blazing Stampede to buy some time. Linfong into the backside dies. The ult looked fun, but it's not enough to keep anyone down. XQW rocket jumps forwards and gets another kill. Jungler down. Atakan to stop the fight going in the way of LGD. Starry gets a mid-tier 1. That is the consolation prize, but Ruinous Atakan plus a tier 1 top, plus the fight, plus all these blood petals. Oh boy. She's gonna have. This is going to be tough. Long fights were already looking bad for OMG. I think they got untenable after that. minute until that dragon. Okay, YCX gets interrupted. Mom looking for an engage. They find the chains of corruption to the last breath onto XQW, who dies. Big moment. Member dead. Can they get anything more here? Baron's up. Can they turn off on one side? Moan looking for that angle. There'll be set up in the river. Moan looking for a good angle in. Doesn't have flash. Does have quickness in 5 seconds. Looking for the engage. 3-man knockup for the side of LGD. Dragon secured by Heng. It's a big moment. Bullet times on Fantasy. SUW in the pit. Gets taken out by the arrow. Sassy's in danger. Shoosh damage back as they manage to pick up Sun. Lily is still trying to play this one out by Nayo, but goes golden for a second or two. Linfong with the shields. Flash away from Nayo. Shayo trying to stay alive. Misses the swell seed. HP bar's desperately low on both sides. Nayo can look to blooming blows people down. They don't know where people are in the tri-brush. Moam doesn't find the grand entrance. The double up, comes on. And they'll be going double time some more. The swell seed lands onto Lin Fong. He's burning out, tries to get a heal, misses the Q3. And that'll be a blooming blows that brings him down. Nayo in these extended plays is a kingmaker. Should be theirs. No real way to come and contest it without a flash. Heng being kept out of the pit. Baron now secure. What about the fight after? The Chains of Corruption. Jumped away from by XQW. Moam to the backside is delaying some of that reset. It's a good bullet time angle. We'll get a lot of damage down. Nayo just some damage into the backside. Go Lung Fong and OMG. They do get a couple back, but the rest of the fight's still tricky. The individual burst is all right. But the extended plays, the misfortune, the Lily is still terrifying. Lin Fong survives. The rest of the team does not. And this Yasuo is trying. Through, and Yasuo getting back would get him an Infinity Edge. He wasn't able to reset normally. So I had to walk back to base. This will be a buy on the Infinity Edge, you imagine, the moment he touches Fountain. There it is. Inhibitor down, though. Double AD carries. Now onto the second inhibitor turret. Ult available for Linfong. They won't be able to stick around for that inhibitor itself. Away from the Chains of Corruption. He wants to do as much damage as he might want to do, but did survive. It's a good Chains of Corruption. The problem is, even if you kill the Lily, you've still got to deal with these double-fed AD carries. Bullet time comes on through, is interrupted. Linfong will try and blow him up. Does so. Does a lot of damage. Now, YCX in danger. About to fall as well. LGD going to give up multiple members. Lilting Lullaby comes on down. YCX still likely to fall. Here comes the rest of the squad, though. LGD looking to defend. Linfong gets popped by an O-crit from Tristana. Buster shot away from Harry. Hum trying to buy some time. Rocket jumping away. Moan can't find the knockup. As Nayo, untouched, will get you a blooming blow and watch out. Epa's way through a team fight. How many more swell seeds does he have? Lands another. The burn comes on through. GA is popped by Harry as he's going to surely die. Flashed away from Hang with the phase rush running. Nayo alone against 3 and Starry gets another. They fail the tower dive and LGD lose everyone, but XQW teleported away to get another inhibitor. So they still end up getting some structural damage, but the Baron is thwarted somewhat. Neither is Nayo for that platter. Baron's not going to try and steal with the Q. So this will be Ocean Soul. Which you already said would be problematic. Yasuo has gone towards a mortal reminder. 4.5 for Starry, who is now at 8 and 4. His Poke Farris now legitimately can deal with people. Knock up. Linfong follows the rocket jump, trying to get the kill. Swell Seed is, Lilting Lullaby is blocked by the wind wall. They kill off the Yasuo, though, who couldn't finish the job. Starry can't survive either. And Yasuo tried to pull a miracle play out. And it's just not enough. The heroics, the Herculean effort isn't there. This deer at 11, 3, and 13 pentakill early into the game will ensure that LGD close out the series 3-0. Let's be real, that first game should have been theirs as well. They've got the Nautilus and the Jin for setup. Equalizer and Needlework for extensive slows, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of damage that can be done against Rumble and lane. Gwen was something of an answer, and Gwen might be just used against you as well. If you can't deal with one in lane, how about both? Flashing away, and an E snip snip secures a kill over for this Gwen. Nice gank. Don't think there's going to be too much more here. Can they look for a fight on the way out, though? Debating, looking for something a little more here. Missing, he's a big chunk. Foss bomb lands as well. Oh, bit of an engage happening onto Cube. That's what I get for needing to respond to a message. Missing, flashes on forward, gets a trample stone into the vault breaker. Means this Rumble will likely die, but here comes the rest of the squad. Flash on forward for the Dredge side. Now Missing's in danger. Can they look for anything more? Here comes Scout, ulting up the river. Flash for the Q into the cease and desist. Slicing Maelstrom after brings down the Gwen. Wonderful pickup. And they make it 2 for 2 in the end as Shun was traded. Karis managed to get it by Monkey. Let's break that trade a little bit. Vi over the wall. Going to be chased away by Monkey as Vampire now in a spot of bottom potential. The bullet time comes on through, but the Hallowed Mist denies most of it. Alongside that Unbreakable Will, Vampire now has that timeout though. And what like a good deny of the bullet time doesn't get them out to safety. So yeah, basically they shouldn't have is the honest answer. They tried to cheat it because the Gwen can rush it. And didn't defend it well enough. Gonna head over towards the Grubs, flash on in for the Q, into the cease and desist, missing, doing a lot of work. The bullet time is phenomenal. Scout looking for an angle. Teleport now coming on in. Cube is around. Vampire in threat though goes down. The equalizer onto Ale is solid enough. Jun flashing away. Managed to get one kill, but nothing more. Scout flashing for the charm! Monkey is down. Valkyrie away. Tries to keep Karis safe. They will lose Shun. Another knock up onto Cube. He's doing a fair amount of work and flashed away himself. Curtain's now called. Pay's going to look for that angle. Missing Curtain. We're going to be hyped with the charm, though, is Summoners besides. Largely, I think, an okay play for JDG. 2 for 1. Plus a stolen grub. Plus a load of Summoners burn. And Monkey now under threat in their own jungle. Does not get to use the Hallowed Mist. 4th death of the game. The Gwungle. Ale going to try and trade out with that turret. Still WE picks up the feats of strength there because they got the first turret and the first 3 kills. Shun's going to pick up this Herald though. Ale will trade turrets. So in the end, a slight stronger feat not necessarily going to decide the game here, I don't think. Especially with Dragon up. Monkey's going to try and rush this again as a Gwen with the Nash's do. You do spread through these objectives relatively fast, all things said and done. Overcome JDG though. Oh, Monkey, I think you've tried to cheat some tempo there. Gets caught out over the wall. We'll try and steal away. Can't do. Dies to make this play happen. The Hallowed Mist comes on down. Shun goes, yeah, thank you for the leash. Soul point secured by WE. I get why Monkey's doing it. He wants to cheat that away and get the Ocean Soul point away from JDG, but can't quite do it in time and dies for it. JDG playing well. They are at the minute. The mid game has always been their strength. This game seems to be no exception. Karis looking to reset. Oh, Ala's going to find him. Throws down the lightning shuriken into the slicing maelstrom. Passive comes on through, and the W proc is pretty good. Hang on, Conqueror! Didn't get a good enough stun off. Oops, Ala. That's a very Ala moment. And actually, they're going to try and rush out to Khan here with a man advantage. Hang on, hang on, hang on. JDG feel like they're going to have to contest, but they're down the cannon with no ult. Equalizer comes on through. It's good. Missing's in danger. Has to flash away. Monkey to get the needle worked out. Flash out from Shun. Vampire in danger as the bullet time shreds out most of the team. Scout looking for an angle. They will get one back. Atacard stolen. And that means the GAs are online. Oh, no. WE chose their moment. I don't blame them for looking. I really don't. They had the man advantage. They forced so many flashes, so many low health bars, but they can't win the Atacam fight. They saw their window, and JDG are cruel indeed. They snap it shut. It's a guillotine all along. Missing. Pays will step onto that turret. Take it out. Baron spawns in 2 minutes. They're not even going to deal with that. They're just going to use the fact they have these GAs to really force turrets very hard. JDG have always been a team that plays around structures, plays around forcing the Monkey now on a flank angle. But to what end do you really want to play with these Atachan withdrawals up and available? Missing. Steps forward. Might die here, but is kind of happy to do so. But not before already potentially taking Vampire with him. They go into the backline with a cease and desist. Karis in danger, taken out. Cube flashing away, goes down as well. Misfortune picks it up. It is a triple to Pays on that Misfortune. Great fortune for JDG. A disastrous one for WE. They need to go to some Shinto shrine somewhere and cleanse their spirits, clearly, because this was an inauspicious game indeed. Jing Dong Gaming will take game 1. A little bit of playing with their food at the end of the roll. Arlo will pick up the kill there onto Vampire. Charm. And on the fountain onto Tay. You won't be able to quite pick him off, but the damage is pretty damn brutal. A lot more viable. A lot easier to hit. So, JDG, if you can get to 2 items plus on those 3 core carries, life is good. Okay, Scout is probably dead. Nice combo from Monkey. Crash down away. Big chunk onto Taeyun. Oh, man. Missed that Q. It would have been a nasty moment for Taeyun, but down to half HP. Shun takes up the dragon. Taeyun hanging around. Can look to come on in with the killer instinct. Vampire left out to die. The Eclipse comes on down. Buys some time. Missing. Out of range as Shun has to flash away as well. Taeyun now here looking for potential angle on in. Has got the ult. May want to burn it. Flashes away. Barrier down as well. But then a flash shattering strike means that they get another one back. And Missing doesn't take enough angle from those minions. Alright. Shun is in danger. It just goes down. Nice pick off before the grubs could be taken. Pace looks to get something more, gets a decent chunk onto Karis, but that's only half of his HP bar. Monkey now on those grubs with the jungle dead. Shun caught out and about there. The Eclipse completed for Monkey, and down goes that Shin's out. Bot side though, Scout's going to take that first turret. Which is a fairly decent win, I think, all things said and done. JDG happy enough to trade that additional kill there. Might look well come and fight for at least the last grub here. Overcomes Arla as well. Monkey may need to back away from this one. Shattering strike just wide as Monkey flashes. To the skies though goes Arla. Looking to push Karis back and around. Hands a shot blast just shy of Karis' final location after a quick jaunt across the wall of his Between Worlds. Plays is too good, man. He's having a good time on this Ezreal. He is up, what, 25 odd CS, 30 CS? That is a rough place to be. That's poor old Taeyun. Again, the Kai'Sa will eventually be good into the Ezreal. As long as you can survive the lane. So far, it's been pretty rough. Fights occurring once again in the river. Missing, crashes down, buys some time, but in comes Kai'Sa. Pays, survives, but Missing does not. WE really got to claim this turret here. Hypercharger available. Wants to get that demolished proc. Does so. Monkey's around. Won't look to go all in on that one. First turret secured by JDG. Alright, hang on. Let's do a fight on forwards. Public execution comes on down and goodbye. Karis deletes Missing. WE continuing to make the more successful proactive plays for all the JDG are farming well. These death ball plays are working. The problem is they're not turning into all that much yet. That might get them a dragon, but it loses them another turret. There's only so many times you can make these plays. But look, we want to play for this turret. They're TPing in. Arla jumped on, flashes away from the public execution. The rest of the team goes looking. Solar Flare just shy. Getting a slow onto Arla, who's going to get jumped on. Will likely go down, but doesn't quite take Monkey with him. They burn everything to get it happening. They will kill Arla. Great news. However, they lose the mid-tier 1 for it. They get the Herald. But the map continues to be played wider by JDG. Can they catch someone else on the retreat? Vampire, split off from the team, has no Solar Flare, has no Flash, and Ignite in a Dream. As he has been jumped on JDG saying, yeah, we can play this. True Shot, Barrage, comes across, Magic Storm into the backside, Monkey will immune it with that Call of the Pack. Into the Between Worlds we go, and WE begin to respond. Pays now in danger, nowhere to go. Finally, Shun turns up, but where was he this entire time? Trying to fight off with Monkey, I would guess. Second dragon for either team. Gold lead, kind of non-existent now for JDG. Man, a few of those fights have gone really wrong, haven't they? We need to head WE, okay, take these objectives and turn them into something. They have now. There's the turret down, finally, for WE. That'll help bring back some of that standing gold. Still no damage really on that top or mid turret, but they want to try and look to come on in to this river. Set up for a second dragon. In goes Monkey, onto Scout. Stays alive for a second or two. Looking to try and bring down the Victor and do so. That allows a reset on that Call of the Pack if they want to. Hound the shooter, sorry, JDG caught in the middle of everyone. All the while, Alice solos out the Kai'Sa. You lost your jungle, you've lost your mid. That will be dragon over for WE, but Alice somehow pouncing on Taeyun. Might get a tier 2 off this. Will do. Your Ramana transformation is a scary beast for Jace. Dragon secured by WE, who are playing out a much, much better game in game 1. JDG, we said, look, sometimes the playbook don't work with spot now. Close enough in gold to make this playable. But they don't really have much in the way of map control. They're trading Atakan here for turrets. Well, cool. It's the perma buff. Of course, there's not actually that many objectives yet for JDG. So it's not being buffed out that much. And they know it's happening. They're saying, look, we really just want to get some gold on the map. And try and get the mid-tier 1. If they can get 3 turrets for Atakan, probably worth it for WE. Swing themselves into a gold lead for the first time this game. Oh, welcome back. Got Soul Point. Quick wave for the camera, mate.
I'll get back
Give it. There we go. Fight happens. Vampire goes deep. WE in a pretty interesting position at this point. Shun trying to get some damage on the backside of the back. As the execution comes on in. The problem is Monkey and Taeyun can keep on diving. They'll finally bring down the Kai'Sa. But watch Pays. Watch what he can do. Monkey still alive. The Profane Hydra build on this Neferi finally brought low. But Karis and Cube still break the back of that fight.
Monkey, continually so important for Team WE. 7-1-7, the full assassin Neferi. Pulling.
But that means Neferi's not exhausted, Kai'Sa's not exhausted, and Bess is not exhausted. The CC's not fantastic for WE. The target axis sure as hell is. Solar Flare lands. Arla forced to back away. Vampire down to half HP. They're going to go on Henge. Shun trying to find an angle. This would still be Soul Point for WE if they can secure it. It is taken by Shun though, which evens up the Dragon count. Public execution into the backside from Q. The turnaround with that call of the pack and the Hound's pursuit. Monkey will finally fall as Scout picks that one up. Aside from power and Karis goes down. And WE, the second round, isn't good enough.
Once again, Vampire evaporated at the start of the fight, and it has to be kind of like a brawling outplay kind of situation from Monkey, who this time can't quite make the magic happen. Karis, only 2 stacks on the Magi's now. He has been shut down. JDG, after taking the Dragon with so many kills, they will move straight towards the Baron, and there will be no contest.
None at all. It's been the first one fight, really, from JDG this whole game. They found picks individually. Arla up an obscene amount of CS in that early game. But the early lane leads, the early turret leads were looking problematic. Baron will help with that a great deal. Very, very squishy. Your upfront burst, unreal. Your healing once you kill someone, pretty good. Until that point, you are still just about 2,000 HP if that.
You see JDG starting to crush the map now. This is a problem.
JDG are too focused on killing the first target. We have seen the second and third ingresses into the backline. Got a lot of value for WE as this game's gone on.
Yeah, I think you would have really liked to see the AP Kai'Sa at this point in the game, though, with this kind of team.
Yeah.
The double AD assassins on your team. The Kai'Sa going towards the crit build. Definitely. Oh, hang on. Vampire's has lost all of his HP. He's had a difficult, well, since I've been watching. Maybe the early game was better.
It's better for him, yeah.
Better for him. His last couple of fights haven't really delivered, so I only get to see the bad parts of Vampire. I'm so sorry to
Maybe you're the problem.
Maybe I am the problem. There are, yeah, that can occasionally happen. Turret's starting to be felled now. The range from JDG really coming online. If you had the poke Kai'Sa, maybe you could fight back a bit against this. You have no such tools here.
Very difficult. It's all in or bust with this comp, and they're thinking about doing just that as Vampire steps on what there's only really onto missing, and now he's caught forwards, has to flash away, and Pace says, no you don't, I Arcane Shift and Q you. Eat my Mystic Shot, Taeyun, hit with another! The Arcane Shift forwards will be barriered as they turn around now with the Hound's Pursuit eviscerating forwards, but again, there is no HP, and JDG were pushed this game by WE, but a failed fight for Soul Point into a Baron, and JDG's work done to the map earlier comes and pays them back with dividends in the form of a Nexus.
The sharpshooter Pays really making his impact here in the late game. JDG will move to 2-0. Wouldn't necessarily call it clean, but I would call it done.
That is...